Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is Monday here in the United States, March the 7th, 2022. And we are here on the JADASA Live broadcast globally across social media platforms and Blog Talk Radio. I am your host, Cynthia Orr Bennett. Here on the podcast, we talk about issues dealing with abuse and neglect and to raise awareness, provide resources, and offer hope through educating, edifying, and encouraging in our communities, locally and globally. And I want to thank you, our viewers and our listeners. And we ask that if this podcast is helping you or helping and assist you, your family, your friends, and your associates, the JADASA organization is asking you to take time and go to our website and our social media pages to see the causes we raise for women and children. We want you to please like and share here on social media, whatever platform you're on, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube channel or on the Blog Talk Radio. We want to ask you to like and share our page, like and share this video, because you never know who down on your timeline need this information. But before we get started, I have a few announcements, some exciting things that's coming up that I want to share with you. So I am going to go down here and bring it into the stream. And as you see, our weekly closed support group circle, Sister Sis, is still ongoing. However, we will have that once we have ladies and teens that want to be a part of it to come in, and we will have it this Wednesday from 7:30 to 8. We're going to be 7:30 to 8:30 this Wednesday. I have a prior engagement that popped up that I wasn't aware of. And so, ladies, if you want to be a part of this Sister Sis group, go online to info@jadasa.org, or you can email us, or you can call us at the 1-800-292-2145 number, or you can hit us up on social media and let us know that you want to be a part of the Sister Sis group session. And so that is this Wednesday, and it is on Zoom. So we are going to have it. If we have someone that come in, we were going to have this group session because it is to help you and me and everybody else that wants to come in a part of this, okay? Next, we have started our spring 2002 developer class last week. It is awesome with our new developer instructor and trainer with Twyla Baylor. We've had some people come in about finances, basic finances, and we had a business owner to come in to talk to the girls about businesses, entrepreneurship. You still have time to go. This Saturday will be the absolute last Saturday that you can register and come in. After that, you will have to wait till the summer session because we will have moved far beyond where you could catch up. So if you have any nieces or nephews, nieces, daughters, family members, friends, neighbors that you feel that will benefit for this, I guarantee you they will love it. We are going to learn how to build our own apps. And at the end of the program, they will each receive a certificate of completion. Their families, their loved ones can come out and present and watch them present their apps that they've created. And we also turn around and invest in them. We give them a $50 gift certificate as a way to show that we are investing. We are planting seed into your life, into your thoughts, your idea, your entrepreneurial endeavors. And so we are starting them out young, and we want you to be a part of it. Next up, this Sunday, folks, JADASA is a part of the Fairy Glam Project. This is a prom and empowerment expo, and it is for one day this Sunday, March the 13th, 2022, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the University City High School, where they will be doing pampering, glamoring. We'll do workshops. Girls that get there, they get a chance to pick out a free prom dress. You know any people that's going to senior prom or junior prom and they need a prom dress, You need to register them for this Fairy Glam project that's this Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. at the University City High School. JADASA is a vendor there. We will be doing a workshop called The Princess Within. We will have tiaras. It is just going to be awesome for the young girls. So if you know any girls that is going to be going to somebody's prom or a junior prom or their own prom, they have the opportunity to come to this expo and pick out their prom dress for free. The information is on this slide. If you need more information, please email me or hit me up on social media, and I will get that information to you so you can register this Sunday and this Sunday only. Don't miss it. A free prom dress. Prom dresses are almost as much as a wedding dress. So if you have the opportunity to get a prom dress for your daughter or your niece or your loved one who is going to prom this season, be at this Prom and Empowerment Expo this Sunday. Okay, and last but not least, I am putting this out here. Put it on your radar. It is already etched in stone. It is already everything is in place. The park is secured. Security is secured. The vendors are secured. 10/8/2022. The Walk Run Against Abuse JADASA is in North St. Louis County. We have partnered with all of the majority of municipalities in North County who will be there and who are partnering with JADASA for this annual event. Mark your calendars. You will hear more about this soon. So I just want to put this out here for you all. So those are our announcements right now. And as we pass out, we're going to have some more because we got a couple of things that's coming down again this year, but that has already been etched in stone. Everything is done, is in place. I just need you to mark it on your calendar and have your coins ready so we can help these women and these children in the situations they're in and help them get out the situations they're in. So for more information about resources or questions, go to our website at jadasa.org. Also for that Fairy Glam project, if you know somebody that want to go to prom this year, and you don't want to be spending $600, $700, $800 for no prom dress, have them at that Fairy Glam project this Sunday from 1 to 4 at the U City High School. That's where we will be. JADASA will be there, and we will be doing a workshop on the Princess Within. And I want to see you there. So tonight, and that's a good segue about this prom dress and teens and all of that stuff, because what we're going to talk about is teen dating abuse. So we want to get there. We're going to be talking about the mind. We're going to be talking about the body and talking about how we can dress up and look pretty and how we can, how we see ourselves. But we want to talk about this as well, because this stuff happens. This happens at proms too. It has happened at proms. So we're going to talk about teen dating abuse. And most people think that domestic abuse is something that happens to just adults. That it's just something for married couple or old people. I've actually heard somebody tell me that, oh, we don't worry about that. That's for people y'all age. Well, but in reality, it's abusive teen relationships is much more common than most people realize and most parents realize. And so when the pandemic forced schools to close in 2020, children spent more time at home, right? We all know that everybody was at home, staying in place, sheltering in place. And we as an advocate, we have seen an increase in teen dating violence when the calls to the national and the local domestic abuse hotlines skyrocketed with the growing use of technology and social media among teens. Now, them teens, almost everybody, even the adults, folks love social media. That's all we had. We couldn't go anywhere else, right? We couldn't do nothing. We couldn't go any place. We was at home. So everybody's escape was social media. Everybody's entertainment was social media. Everybody's communication and socializing was through social media. Well, because there was more of this going on in social media, of course, this pandemic rose more too, this teen dating abuse. And so this is an emerging kind of abuse that's becoming more common, and we call it digital abuse. And digital abuse is stuff like this: controlling passwords. People want to know what your password is, and they want to give you a password. And sometimes they'll tell you, no, you got to get a password to get on your own stuff. That happens. That happens. Or someone, your significant other, a person you're dealing with, demanding to see text messages and who you texting and why you texting them and why they texting you and what y'all talking about. Demanding to see text messages and exploiting sexual images. They call it sexting. Sending sexual images and taking pictures of their genitalias and sending it to people, or taking pictures of their quote girlfriend, boyfriend genitalia, and then I guess they get in an argument and stuff, and next thing you know, they pictures splattered all across Instagram and sent all over to these group chats and all that stuff. All of that, and then they want to know location. They want you to put a location on your phone so they can track where you are. All of that is digital abuse, and that's a part of teen dating, and that's what people have dealt with and are dealing with. So according to CDC Prevention Survey, they said, looking at teen dating, they found that 1 out of 11 girls and 1 out of 15 boys experienced physical dating violence in the past year since the pandemic. 1 in 11. That's about 9%? 1 in 15 boys, dealing with physical abuse. And then it says 1 out of 9 girls have experienced sexual dating violence. All those things. And what is sexual dating violence? We're going to talk about that. Parents, here are some signs, some signs that your child might be trapped in an abusive relationship. If you notice any of these things, these are some telltale signs that we as parents need to take notice. We know our kids, right? You know your kids, but then when there are some changes in your kids. And so we need to not say, oh, they just going through, they having a moment. We all have moments, but look at how long that moment is lasting and how severe is affecting them. Take notice of all of that, because we all have moments. Everybody, has to deal with life, but look at the severity of it and the longevity of that moment, whatever that moment is, because it should raise a red flag or put a check in your spirit, especially when you know your kids, right? So some of the things that you can look at that in teen dating violence, and this is just a good segue, because even Sunday, I'm not going to talk about this part, but some of the things going to be in it, but we're going to be there. A shift away from friends and activities that they used to enjoy. All of a sudden, they don't want to hang out with certain people no more. Maybe if they're friends, once they got with their significant other, and then all of a sudden they don't have time for their friends, or they can't play baseball. They was always on the baseball team, or they was always on the soccer team, or the tennis team, or whatever. They was always doing some kind of activity, and all of a sudden they got with this person that they're with. And the things they used to enjoy, the things they would almost eat, sleep, and think about all the time, all of a sudden, they can take it or leave it. Those are telltale signs to take notice. And of course, grade slipping at school. You had an A student, a B student, all of a sudden they coming home with D's and F's. Or all of a sudden, this person getting calls that they're being disrupted in class, and they're getting in trouble and being disrupted with their teachers and peers and the staff. Those are telltale signs to take notice that something is amiss. Now, it's not necessarily always teen dating or violence, but these are some of the signs that result out of that from surveys and from young people we've dealt with down through the years. Excessive time spent texting. Now, sometimes you can, it's hard to judge that one, because they stay on the phone and text all day, in the class, outside the class. They sleep with the phone. The majority of the teens, they only charge their phones when they at 2%, and rarely do they get 100%, because they got to get on the phone and text. So you got to kind of weigh that, checking in with that person. They always got to check in with their partner and stuff. Those are telltale signs that something is amiss. Often apologizing to the partner or for the partner with excuses. There's some control issues going on there. There's some fear going on there that you got to always keep apologizing to your partner. Now, this is not just girls with boys. This is boys with girls too. But we know a lot of boys that have gone through or are going through that, they don't really go forward and share because, stigma that society has placed on it. But this goes both ways, with teen dating violence. Seeming afraid of making the partner mad. Always that goes hand in hand with making excuses for them, or they're jittery and they jumping around him, and they always got to check with them to see if it's okay, or when somebody says something, they kind of look at them to see if there's an approval of how they either respond or how they've acted or how they've said something. Those are telltale signs as parents. Especially when we can't tell our kids something, we got to tell them something 4, 5, 6 times, and then the other person can say something to them, and they jump and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna probably look side eye at both of y'all to see what's up, because I can tell you something 5 times and you act like you can't hear me. But then this other person can say something, then you jump, and it seems like, yeah, I'm gonna take a double look at that one. I'm gonna look hard at that. Lack of self-care. Hygiene is kind of going down. When you're going through that kind of stuff, you get depressed. You almost lose yourself. You lose who you are. Lack of self-care. Because you're going through that, that control. Sneaky and secretive. This is funny because I'm like, they could be sneaky and sensitive on a lot of stuff. Because it says in the survey, 67% of teens keep an abusive relationship secret. 67%. That's more than half. Keep an abusive relationship secret. So parents, we have to really look and watch and monitor. Because again, I will go back and say, we know our kids. We know what ticks them off. We know how to get we know our kids. We had them. We've been around them. So we know their idiosyncrasy. We know when something changed. When something is off. And so especially when they start getting with a relationship, when they start getting in this relationship with this significant other, and then they get all this secretive and then scared to say something and all that stuff. And so my thing is, let me digress right here. If your significant other disrespects, let me fix this. If your son or your teenager significant other or boyfriend or girlfriend disrespects you as the teen's mom or dad, that there's an issue of control, because they are not going to respect the person they're with when they can't respect their parents. Those are telltale signs that we have to share with our teens. If they can't respect mama, they're not going to respect you. And if they definitely got a problem with their own parents, those are red flags. And we have to, because we have to be careful, oh, he just like that. No, he ain't just like that because you that and all the bag of chips. That's not it. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than you. It's bigger than you. It's deeper than you. And so we have to make sure we monitor our kids and with these things on both ends, your daughter or your son and the significant other, when they're depressed and lonely. Now, it's sad. It's one thing to be depressed and lonely by yourself, but then to be depressed and lonely and you supposed to have somebody that, make it make sense. Make it make sense. So parents, if you notice any of these red flags with your teen, it's best to speak to them directly about it. And I'm going to talk about this too, because there's a way we need to talk to our kids. Of course, they're our kids. They're going to always be our babies. They're going to always be our kids, but you have to communicate with them based on their level of maturity. What am I saying? If your child is a 16, 17-year-old and you're trying to talk to them, don't talk to them like they 7 and 8 because you the mama and they the son. You go lose them. You're going to lose them. You have to talk to them based on the maturity of that age group. For example, when my son was, here and we had to talk to him and he was in college and all that stuff, yeah, I'm going to always be Cynthia Bennett, the mother figure over him and my daughter. But they grown. I cannot talk to them like I talked to them when they was 10. You can't do that. You're going to lose them. And they're going to shy away from you. So I'm going to clearly walk through this, because this is something that is big and it's on the horizon and it's just getting bigger and bigger on top of the other pandemic of what grown folks go through. These are babies. These are kids. And so you may need help when you want to talk to your team. And when you talk to them, you let them know, hey, abuse, that's not normal. Somebody talking to you like that, that's not normal. You're this, you're better, you're greater, you're smarter. You have to talk them up, because if somebody's constantly talking down into their ear gates, and then they start believing that stuff, if you don't counteract that, they're going to always think like that. And then guess what? As they get older and as they get, go on with another relationship and they go into marriage, maybe they're going to keep gravitating to that type of relationship. They're going to keep gravitating to that type of significant other, because that's all they know. So we have to feed the opposite in their ears. No, you're not that. You this. No, you're not crazy. No, you're smart. No, you're not dumb. No, you're not ugly. You're pretty. We have to speak that into them, because if they're going through that, and when they're in love, let me tell you, you have to be careful. And you have to come to them, not as a friend, because I used to always tell my kids, I'm not your friend. I'm your mama. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be friendly to you, and I'm going to be a friend, but I'm not your friend. And that's the difference. I'm going to hear you out. I'm going to listen, and I'm going to share what I think. Now, when I share what I think, it's up to you to either take it or reject it. Whatever it is, it's the consequence you have to deal with. That's how I had to talk to my children, because if I said, you do this, you don't do that, you do that, they went left field every time. But when I give them the option, this is what I would do, but you have to make the decision. But I will hope you make this decision, but this is what you have to do. And it always worked for me. So I'm just telling you what worked for me. So when they're dealing with that, rally around your child for support. Stress the need to end contact. Now, this is different than a person that's grown and going through abusive situation. And we always tell them, hey, so what do you want to do? We give them the control back. What do you want to do? How, what do you want? How do you want to help? How do you want me to help you? We're giving that person the control. Now, when it comes to teen abuse, you telling them reason why they need to cut contact. Because for one, you're still responsible for them. They teens. They're not grown. They're not adults. You're still responsible. So you can say that this is why you need to cut off contact. Now, they may do it and they may not. But that's a little bit different, a little pivot from talking to a fully grown person who's going through this, because they have to be able to make the decision themselves to get the control back. Now, when you talking to your kid, your teen about this, don't judge. Don't judge. And don't say, oh my God, do not say, I told you so. They already feel bad. They're already vulnerable. They already damaged. They already feeling isolated. And what you're going to do by judging or saying, I told you so, you're going to further push them away. You're going to further isolate them. And then from you, you're going to further isolate them from you. And they're not going to share nothing with you. They may talk to somebody else and they may not, but they won't talk to you. And so you want to make sure that you're going to always be that open door when they get the courage to walk through it and they want to talk. You want to be that open door that no matter, of course we have our minds and we mamas and dads, but we have to Don't judge. And don't say I told you so. Because see, one in the back of their mind, they already know you think that way anyway. And they already expecting it. Don't give them what they expect. Oh, mama go say, I told you so. I told you you shouldn't have been messing with him. I told you should have left him alone. I told you they wasn't no good. Don't do that. That's the last thing they need to hear from us. That if we're trying to help them, if we're trying to help them, you don't judge, you don't tell them I told you so. Because that's going to shoot you in the own foot. And they're not going to tell you nothing. Because why? We know teens are novice. They're young. Most of them do not have the mature idea to know what it means to love and to be loving. So if they don't understand that their partner can tell them, because they angry and because they criticize them and because they're jealous and because they're really possessive. These are just because I just love you so much and I just don't want nobody to be around you. And I'm just upset because every time somebody talks to you, it just makes me mad and angry. That's because I love you so much. If they don't get the proper information, they go believe that. They're going to believe that. Oh, he jealous because he loves me. No, baby. No, that's not it. So we have to properly communicate to our children about this teen abuse because it's rising. It is rising. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of stuff that came out of this pandemic. And that's one of it. And so every parent, let me see, I see some comments. Let me see. Good evening, Marguerite. Right? Yeah. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you for coming on. Every parent should think about prevention. Always think about prevention. Talk to your preteens and your teens. Have them attend workshops that talks about healthy and unhealthy relationships, because that sets the groundwork for them to be able to spot abusive behavior early. Then they stay in there, get their feelings all twisted and tied up with that person. And now, we got all these soul ties and all this stuff that's going on with them. And so we need to think about prevention. And so that's what we're doing even this week. We at JADASA, we spearhead and we participate in these types of workshops to help combat this epidemic. And so I am going to shoot this email. I'm going to put this flyer up really quick because this is coming up this Sunday from 1 to 4. It is the Fairy Glam Expo, Prom and Empowerment Expo. Every girl that comes there, you get to pick out a free prom dress. I wish they had that when Jada was in school, because them prom dresses wasn't cheap. You get to pick out a free prom dress. We have empowerment expos that's going on. And so I just want to share this quickly. This is it. This is this Sunday, Prom, the Fairy Glam Project, Prom and Empowerment Expo. This is from 1 to 4 this Sunday at the University City High School. From 1 to 4. For more information, you visit the fairyglamproject.org and you can register at U City High School. At that QR code, you can pick up that QR code and register. Register your daughter. If you know any girls that's getting ready to go to prom, they don't have to go to U City High School. They do not have to be a student at U City High School. They can come. We have Empowerment Expo. JADASA is going to be there this Sunday. We are teaching on the Princess Within. That is our workshop that we're doing, the Princess Within. There are going to be vendors out there that's going to give you pampering and give you door prizes, and you get the opportunity to walk away with a prom dress free. So if you know any young girls who's going to prom, junior prom this year, have them at that expo. If you need more information, reach out to me, email me, or hit it in the social media post, and I will get this information to you. I want to see you there. I will be there. JADASA will be there. So I wanted to at least put that out there again for you guys to know that, we're doing what we can. We are trying to be there to talk to our teens, to encourage them. So if you or someone need help, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-4673 in the United States. You can reach us at jadasa.org at our website or social media page, any of our social media pages, or you can call us at 1-800-292-2145. You can also find resources because we're talking about global. We didn't forget you. You can also find resources in your state coalition's website or Google domestic violence hotlines in your prospective country. So I will leave you with this. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." God wants you to know, and whether you believe it or not, that he wants you to get the end that you expect. If your end is peaceful, if you want a peaceful end, if you want a joyful end, if you want a loving end at the end of your life, or whatever it is your end is, you want your life to be this. This is what he wants to give you, what you expect. Remember, it's JADASA. JADASA is a community-based organization, and you are our global community. Therefore, the global entity is JADASA. You are JADASA. JADASA 24/7, 365 days, all day, every day. I want you to be safe. I want you to be well, and I want you to be whole. And with that being said, good night.